Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is the 16th of April 2019, and we've just been to see Come From Away. Open the house. What's that face for?
I was trying not to sing a new theme tune. I'm trying to do a new theme tune. I think I was too serious.
Yes, we are working on a new theme tune.
Yeah.
Should be done by the end of the year with a look.
I don't think it reflects the light-hearted nature of our podcast.
It's very serious. Anyway, enough about that. Once again, we've been to the theatre, Vicky.
We have been to theatre.
And we've been to see yet another musical.
I know, we've really... I don't know what's happened this year.
I know, last year we didn't see any.
Do you think maybe we've both been a bit sad and we just want joyful things?
Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah.
Right, so shall I give you a few facts about Come From Away?
I wish you would.
Okay, so it was written by Irene Sankoff and David Hine.
Yeah.
Directed by Christopher Ashley. The musical director was Ian Eisendrat. Choreography was Kelly Devine.
Yeah.
Designer was Beowulf Borritt.
That is a great name, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't bother writing down any of the notable actors because it was an ensemble cast.
It was an ensemble cast.
So I didn't think it'd be fair to go through all of them for my benefit.
Just because you can't be bothered.
And it's at the Phoenix Theatre, and it's booking at least until September 2019.
I reckon it'll go on for longer than that.
Well, let's not spoil the review.
Okay, fine.
And the length was 1 hour and 40 minutes, once again, without an interval.
James's bugbear.
It really is. Well, I was always for this, but I think it's just a bit too long.
I think it depends how long the play is. If it was an hour, quite happy to sit there for an hour.
Absolutely.
But if it's... What was... Follies was something so ridiculously long with no interval. That was a bit much, wasn't it?
I think so. Anyway, do you want to give us a bit of a synopsis?
Okay, so basically... It was when 9/11 was happening, America closed its airspace, and there was a really small town and a Canadian island that, for some reason, I can't remember why, they did explain, had quite a big airport, didn't it?
Yes.
And so quite a few planes. I remember, I think it was like 38 planes on their way to America got diverted and all landed at this airport. And they ended up staying for, I think, 5 days. So the town, I think there were 7,000 people who lived in the town, and 7,000 people came on the planes, and they had to find places to put them, and they had to find clothes and food, and so it's about that, basically.
It's a bit of an odd setup, isn't it, for a musical? It's, at first thoughts you think it's quite a niche, subject, really.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how it was going to work, but... to be honest, when it started, I didn't think it was working.
No.
But after about 10-15 minutes, I really got into it.
I think the thing that was so wonderful about it was how warm and lovely everybody was, and how the local townspeople literally did everything they could to make them welcome. They opened their homes. They just wanted them to be as comfortable as they could. And some of the people that... what did they call them? The from away people.
Yeah.
They were a bit suspicious of it all at first, but actually they all ended up sort of bonding really well and having a lovely time, didn't they?
They certainly did, through the gift of music and song.
Yeah, because I imagine that in real life that's exactly what happened.
What did you think of the music?
I really liked it. I thought the whole production... I've written some notes here. These are my notes. Uplifting, inspiring, emotional, warm and joyful.
They're just buzzwords, are they?
Yeah, they're my buzzwords for it. I just thought everything was...
Well, not everything was. I thought the choreography was very weak.
Well, I don't think they were necessarily dancers.
No, but very little effort, really, I felt, had been put into it.
They did some moves.
A few moves.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. We followed the stories of 3 or 4 people from the plane, didn't we? Really?
Yeah, there were some main characters from the plane and some main characters from the town, and the same cast would swap roles, and they'd do it by changing maybe an item of clothing.
Yeah, and that worked very well.
Yeah, it did actually, and they changed their accents
now
as well.
This is an issue, isn't it? Because I haven't looked into what the accent is actually like in this little island. But
yeah, it was strange.
The voices were a bit off. I felt.
I thought they all sounded Irish.
Yeah,
and not. I mean, we probably have a bit of a stereotypical idea of what a Canadian accent sounds like from South Park.
The thing is, it was hard to tune into the accent because everyone was doing it slightly differently. And I think it's probably quite a hard accent to master.
I'd be interested to hear what they sound like in real life.
We should go and do that.
Should we go?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
All right, what about set design?
It was really basic, wasn't it? They had these chairs quite a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It didn't rely on smoke and mirrors.
No.
Which I thought was a good thing, really.
Yeah. So these chairs, they'd sort of reconfigure the chairs for planes, for the bar, for when they're having meetings. That's basically all they used, wasn't it? Chairs.
And what I thought was one of the nicest things was the love story between the very British man.
Oh yeah.
And the American woman from California. I think.
So they met on the plane when the planes were initially grounded at the airport. I think they stayed on the plane for hours and hours and hours and hours, didn't they? And they'd met on the plane, and then their sort of love for each other grew throughout the.
It reminded me of Groundhog Day, that whole storyline.
It sort of had that sort of tone, like small town,
magical charm of a small town.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah.
What was really nice, we don't have it with us now, but in the programme there's photos of the real people.
Yes.
Are they with the actors?
I think so. Yes, I think it's with the American cast.
Yeah, and that was really lovely to see, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was refreshingly different.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything quite like it before, just because of the subject matter. They didn't dwell too. They took it seriously what was going on. But they didn't dwell too much on it, did they?
Well, the people on the plane, they didn't know at all for maybe a day what had happened and why they were there. They didn't know, did they? So, yeah, there was a moment. They did say about how when they all got into the shelter and they first saw it, everybody was glued to the screens for hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember it happening, and it was. You almost sort of couldn't believe it, could you? It was so.
Yeah, very surreal, wasn't it? It was like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Was there anything you didn't like?
Not by my notes that I made. I'm going to say no. Oh, no. This is a different category. I'll wait for that bit.
What? Go on.
The people behind us were very annoying. That's all I've put.
We'll wait for that bit.
Yeah.
And what was your standout moment?
Okay, so I've got a few.
Okay.
They were looking... So they'd housed a load of people in the school, and the toilets really needed cleaning, and nobody would volunteer to do it. And then a team of cardiologists came and were like, "We'll do it," and that bit was quite good.
I like the bit in the bar when they were all like indoctrinated into the island.
I've got that, the Newfoundland citizenship.
Yeah, that was good fun.
Ceremony, and then I've got the bit. There was a guy who they decided to have a big cookout, and so there was a guy who was told to just go and take people's barbecues from their gardens.
Oh yeah.
and he was sort of used, I guess, to being a black guy in America. Maybe that would have seemed really suspicious, and he would have got in trouble. Someone would have phoned the police. But instead, every house he went to, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, sure, take the barbecue. Do you want to come and have a cup of tea?" And he had a cup of tea with everyone, and it really changed the way that he saw people.
Yes.
It really had a massive effect on him, didn't it?
And I think, that they all said that it had a massive effect on them going to the island. And then they went back, didn't they, a lot of them, 10 years later?
Yeah.
So that was quite sweet.
Oh, and also, this same guy with the barbecues, I think was really worried about his wallet being stolen or something. And then at the end, he's like, "And I'm not worried about my wallet being stolen anymore." It doesn't sound that funny, but it is.
It was a small story, but a heartwarming story, I thought.
Yeah, it was really... I came away feeling really happy.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, well, should we take a break and then come back and score it?
Sure. Oh, hang on, I've got another note about the set here. Going back to the set really quickly. There were some trees at the back, and there was...
Right.
and then the band were behind them, and there was like a timber wall that had slats in it that had lights coming through, and they changed the colour of the light according to the colour of the day. That was quite nice.
Oh yeah, well spotted.
There we go.
Right, now could we take a break?
Yeah.
Great. All right, so we are back. So, audience antics. Well, it was a bit of a drama, wasn't it? I don't know if you remember, but when we arrived at the theatre, there was a missing child.
Oh yeah, there was.
Yes, and we got involved in the search.
Yeah.
We took it on ourselves to single-handedly find this child.
I just want to put, he wasn't missing in the theatre, he was missing on the streets outside.
He was.
But he was found.
He was found. We didn't find him, which
James
was
really upset that we weren't heroes.
Because we got the glory.
Yeah.
Never mind. Right, audience antics.
I can't remember why they were annoying. But
I couldn't remember why they were annoying.
One of them hit my head. Oh God, they were standing up behind us, weren't they?
And this has never happened to me before, or I certainly haven't been right at the back. But we were on the back row, weren't we? And just before it was starting, there was a load of people milling around behind us, and I was starting to get annoyed about it.
Yeah.
And then
I felt that they were looking down right on me.
It was too close, and then we realised that that's where they were going to be for the whole performance.
Yeah. One of them hit my head.
Yeah, it was
wasn't
too
very
much.
happy about.
It was too.
I think I might have glared at them a few times.
Yeah, we'll have to remember that in the future, because I think I'd have preferred to have sat slightly further forward and not had those people standing over. It's quite intimidating.
They were annoying. Also, this is something that annoyed me. Oh, yeah. This is not audience related. There are only two ladies' toilets.
In the whole theatre?
Well, on our level. And there were quite a few people on our level.
But we are, I think between the both of us, we're getting quite good at making sure you get to the toilet in good time.
Oh yeah, we've got it down to a T. Fine art.
In fact, I think we more or less left. Oh yeah, because they did that thing at the end, didn't they, where the band came out and started playing alien stuff. I
have to say, this is something that I wanted to point out.
Oh yeah.
The quickest standing ovation I've ever seen. It was like a Mexican wave, wasn't it?
Yes.
As soon as the clap started, everyone just went whoop, and that's the sound that they made. Yeah, I've never seen it like that before. Right,
well, shall we score it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vicky, give us your mark out of 10 for performances.
I thought they were all fantastic. I'm going to say 10.
Wow. Okay, I thought they were okay. 9. Staging and technical, I'm going to give them a 7 because I thought some of the choreography was a little bit weaker.
Is that in the state? Okay. I've just found another note that I made was that there was a wonderful light when the rain came. So I'm going to give it an 8.
Right, I've just realised that we have got a category for choreography when it comes up, so I'm going to change that. No, I'm going to keep it at 7.
Yeah, well, that was quite basic, wasn't it?
A narrative plot?
I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 10.
Good stuff. I'm going to give it a 9. I thought it was very strong. Originality,
10.
It's got to be a 10 from me.
10.
Right, choreography, 2.
Well,
maybe that's harsh.
There
4.
was a lovely dance bit in the bar, an Irish dance bit. I'm going to go for 6.
6. Costumes.
They're pretty basic, weren't they? But then what
worked.
could you do with it?
7.
Yeah, I'll go for a 7.
Music.
I'm going to go for a 9.
Ooh, I'm going to go for an 8 because nothing really stood out. It was good at the time, but it kind of washed over me.
Yeah.
And was it worth it? Gets a 9 from me.
I'm going to say 10.
Okay, superb. All right, so while I jot up all these important scores, could you tell the listener what we're going to see next?
Do you know what? I can, because I can actually remember it this time. We're going to see The Mousetrap, because neither of us have ever seen it. We were having a little chinwag around the time of my birthday, talking about it, and James said, why don't I get us tickets for your birthday? So that is what we're going to see. And neither of us know who did it, so look forward to finding out who did. Scores are happening. James is looking perplexed. He's got a new scoring system and he doesn't know how it works.
The maths is hard.
Yeah, your maths is always hard. He's just typing in some numbers. I'm just going to do a random commentary. He's using his phone as a calculator. He's counting up the number of categories. Maybe we'll edit this bit out. What's the scores on the doors, Jim Bobs?
Right. God, that was hard. Right. It gets a 50-minute theatre. Jeez.
Say it again.
It gets a 15-minute theatre rating of 4.16. pretty high.
I feel that actually it should be higher because the enjoyment level was so strong. But I guess a couple of the categories maybe weren't as strong as others.
Yeah, and I think anything that gets a 4-star rating is pretty good.
From us, it's pretty good. Yeah, where's it?
It puts it above Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
And just below Caroline or Change.
I think it's better than Caroline or Change.
Well, we're usually pretty good, but it may be to do with unused kind of categories.
Okay.
It might be more exact, you see.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, I'm exhausted after all that maths.
Okay.
So thankfully that was a theatre bell.
Oh, phew.
Phew! So that was 15-minute theatre. I've forgotten what I said at the end, so I better read it. So the curtain's down, the theatre's dark, and that was 15-minute theatre. Good night.
Good night.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.